today's call, I'm going to talk about burnout and overwhelm and how do you last long term on your weight loss journey? How do you last long term on your health journey when life just feels like there's so much going on? Because when that happens, our health is the first thing that we drop. And then also on the other side, how can we feel or how can we take control when we don't necessarily feel like we have help, we have support, or we have the support that we need? So, the first thing I'm going to say is this, okay? I think we can all agree at some point we felt overwhelmed on this journey, right? Like maybe we felt like it's not working. Maybe we felt like it's too hard. Maybe we felt like our body just wasn't meant for it. At some point, those thoughts crossed our mind. Let's be honest, right? We're human. We have moments of weakness. It's okay to admit it. But if you're having these thoughts frequently, and frequently, that's subjective person to person, but frequently means enough where you remember the last time, not like, oh, it popped in for a little bit, but where you really contemplated it and you're really frustrated. If it's happening frequently, you got to get ahead of it or it will be the reason that you never see or keep results. So for those of you who have trouble finding support, allowing yourself to be supported sometimes, or just struggling with self-talk, right? Maybe not the best self-talk. This is what I want to teach you today. Okay. Um, you know, it's hard to be lonely on this journey. And maybe you're not lonely, maybe you have a good support system, but there's moments of loneliness because here's why. You are the leader of health in your life. You cannot rely on anybody else. Even if there's healthy people in your life who are leading their own life, you need to be the leader of your life and therefore the people in your immediate circle. Now, whenever you choose to take the lead on something, that means everything's your fault, everything's your responsibility at the same time. And it can be a big responsibility. It can be a burden. We could not want that burden sometimes, but it can also feel lonely. So I want you to think, do you sometimes feel lonely on this journey? Like nobody in your life or your family really knows what you're going through, and that's totally okay. But how can we negate that feeling? How can we lessen that feeling? Because to be honest, if you're feeling like you're alone on this journey, how long are you going to want to stay on it? Right? Now, that's one of the great things about chats like this and being in a community of women going through the same thing that helps you get out of that loneliness, but you're still at home. You still got the same friends and family, so you can't really get away from that. So, what do you do? So, if you're feeling lonely in any sense, doesn't mean you're alone, but you're still feeling lonely somewhat inside and overwhelmed. What you have to do is learn how to build trust. Now, what I mean by that, I don't mean, baseline trust. If you're married, obviously you trust your husband. If you've got children, obviously you trust your children with the key to the house, right? Like there's levels of trust. But what I'm talking about is the true trust that someone's got your back and you can count on rely on them to have your best interest in mind all the time. Okay? And what I mean by that, I see a lot of parents and this might be triggering. I see a lot of parents who say, I want what's best for my child. But what they mean is, I want what's best for my child as long as it's what's best for me too. Right? Where it should stop after I want what's best for my child. So there's people in our life who might be thinking that way towards this journey as well. I want what's best for Jane as long as it still benefits me, as long as it doesn't interfere with me. So how do we fix this so that you have everybody in your life that that matters most working in harmony with you, not working against you, not making this journey any harder? So I bring it back, like I said, trust. And this is so interesting. You don't build trust and you don't build that connection and that harmony by offering it to people. Okay? It's not offering help to people. It's not offering trust to people. It is by asking for trust, asking for help. It's not about what you are offering. It is about what you are asking for. Let me explain. Okay. Think about the person that you love the most in the world. Think about the person that you love most in the world and pretend you didn't talk to them for, let's say, 2 weeks. And then you get on the phone with them and they start telling you what happened over the last 2 weeks. And it turns out they were really struggling. They went through a really hard time for 2 weeks. And then you ask them, oh my God, what happened? Why didn't you reach out? I could help. and then they say, well, I didn't want to bother you. How would that make you feel? For me, I'd be angry and upset that I didn't get a chance to help somebody that I loved because I could. And then I'd probably be sad that they didn't feel comfortable enough to trust me to help them. And so, how does this relate to your journey? You know, you're not going to gain somebody's trust. You're not going to get the burden of this leadership off of you and help carry the load if you don't ask for help. Because every time you don't ask for somebody's help, you are robbing them of the ability to be involved in your solution. When you rob somebody of the ability to be involved in your solution, you can't be surprised when they're not all in on your plan. They don't see the vision. They didn't help the vision. And this is very common with women and their husbands, and their husbands are they're not sabotaging them, but they're not necessarily supporting them. It's because they're not bought into the vision, because you need to actively, if we want to build that trust, if we want to delegate some stuff, take some responsibility off our plate, not feel so overwhelmed and alone on this journey, you got to let somebody in. And you do that by asking for help instead of always giving help. Yes, you need to give help because at the end of the day, look, like I said, we're still leaders. We are still leaders. And so we have to lead by example, right? If we want someone to help us, we do have to help others. But how often do we help others without asking for it for us? Probably all the time. Like, when's the last time you asked for help? And I'm not talking about bringing the groceries in. That's not what I'm talking about. Because when you truly do need help, when you really need help, but you are not used to asking for it, when it is uncomfortable to ask for it, when you think the person you're going to ask won't actually help you, when you think you should be able to do it alone, all these thoughts that you have in your head that might not be serving you. When you do that, you're robbing somebody else of a chance to be helpful. And there's not many better feelings in the world than feeling helpful. Don't you feel good when you get to go help your friends move? Don't you feel good when, you turned your friend onto that movie that they loved? Or you recommended a new band to your girlfriend and she fell in love and has a favorite song? Like, don't you feel good when you're helpful? So the reason you keep helping is because it makes you feel good. But in the process, you've robbed other people of having that feeling too. Does that make sense? And so, of course, they are not bought in, right? They're just watching from the outside. And I guarantee you, if you chose the right time and the right thing to ask for, they'd light up. They're waiting. They're waiting, right? And it's not, hey, can you eat this broccoli and chicken with me? No, they don't want to help in that way. You have to ask for help when you need it with what you need in a way that they can actually contribute. Right? We can't just ask for help when we get so overwhelmed and then the help we ask for is like, cure world hunger, damn it. Why can't you cure world hunger? It doesn't work that we can't get to that point where when we're asking for help, they can't help because we're so frustrated and it's so far gone. Right? So if you want to go fast in life, you go alone. Right? You have no one dragging you down, no one to carry, no baggage. If you want to go fast in life, go alone. That's why a lot of the times when you're motivated and you start a weight loss journey, you can drop 5-10 pounds in 1 week sometimes. If you want, and when you're by yourself, right? But if you want to go far in life, not fast, far, you have to go together. Now that's what my community is for. That's why you ladies are here today. We're going to go far together. But I guarantee you can even go farther and still incorporate that element of faster if you try to bring that into your own life too, outside this community, with the people that are usually the 5 closest to you. Because nobody can do anything alone. The saying, it takes a village. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to clean a household. It takes a village to lose weight. And it takes a village to keep weight off. If you don't do what I am suggesting you do on this call right now, you'll have a really hard time keeping weight off. Losing weight might be easy. right? Because we got this community going, you're motivated in the beginning, that might be enough to get you in your groove. But if we don't start implementing this stuff into our lifestyle with the people that matter most, the people that we spend the most time with, it's only a matter of time till they bring you back down to their level, right? If you have not put in the little extra effort to get them involved in your journey, so they want to see you succeed, they want to see you win, right? And by the way, only spend time on the people that you know genuinely care about you, because we all have, unfortunately, we all have friends where they say they want the best for you, but the second you tell them something big in their life, in your life that happened, they don't cheer with you. They try to one up you with what they got going on, right? Or they squash your dreams a little bit and think you're crazy. Those people we don't invest in, right? But the people that matter, like, come on, your husband and your children, you're not gonna stop spending time with them anytime soon, are you? Right? Your girlfriend, your aunt, I don't know who it is, but have you been allowing them to help you on this journey? And help is a very broad term. So use it however you want. Ask for favors. Ask for favors for so long, and this is actually something that I'm still challenging myself with. For so long, I never, ever asked for any favors because I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want somebody to think I was using them. I didn't want somebody to think I couldn't do it by myself or that I was weak in some way. I never asked for favors. I thought it would like lower me, like I'd be inferior to some degree. I don't know what was going on there, but that's how I felt. And then I realized if I'm not asking for favors, I'm not communicating with the universe. If I can't ask my friend for something, well, I definitely can't ask the universe for more wealth, for more health, for better relationships. If I don't practice asking for things with the people that I'm most comfortable with, how is the universe going to be abundant to you? Because I definitely was not asking things from the universe. I wasn't asking for favors. The universe gave me exactly what I asked for, and guess what I was asking for? Nothing. Because I thought maybe by being humble or outworking other people or by helping the most amount of people, somehow that would benefit me. And sure, I got good karma. I helped people. Helping people makes me feel good. But making other people feel good also makes me feel good. And the best way is for somebody to be helpful. Like, does anybody have that dad who's like dying for you to call them and ask him to come unclog a sink for you? Even though you know how to do it, but like if you called him, he'd be there. It's not because he loves unclogging sinks. It's because he loves to feel useful, and especially for the people that we love. If we can't help the people that we love, we question that love. We question if we're loved. We question our place in that relationship. And if you truly love people, you should never give them a reason to question if you truly love them on a deep level. Right? And can you see how the relationships around you and the environment that you create is going to impact the future of your weight loss journey? Can you see that? Like, if we don't fix these nuances now, it's an uphill battle. It is very difficult. And it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be. There's energy buzzing around you right now. Buzzing. And if we just buzz a little more positively, and if we buzz at an energy that's asking for help and helping people and playing this game and dancing, if we dance with that same energy, oh my God, life is easy. Life is easy, but we get in our own way because I don't know, we think we got to be tough, independent women. I don't know. We don't have to be. And in fact, I don't think you actually want to be if you sat down and realized how it made you feel. Taking on everything, right? Sure. Can you do things better than most people? Sure, right? Like, I have to bake cupcakes for my daughter's school. Could I do it really well from scratch? Yes. Could my husband do it pretty crappy with a box cake? Yes. But would it make him feel good? Sure. Would it save you some time to maybe go get a workout in? Right? Like, there's give and takes, right? We can't do everything ourselves all the time. At what cost? Just because it's perfectly done, at what cost are we missing out on something else or hurting somebody else when we think we're helping them? Right? Like, we've all seen those man-childs. You know what I'm talking about? Where their mothers babied them for years and years. She cooked them dinners till they were 30. She made their bed, did their laundry. It came from a place of love. But it didn't do that child any favor. It's now a man child. He's not going to find a woman. He's not going to find a family. He's not going to be able to have kids to love like his mom loved him. It's a never-ending cycle. At what point is our selflessness actually making us be selfish and stunting our growth, our spiritual growth, our energetic growth, our health growth? It's a really cool topic to think about, right? Because, losing weight can be heavy. Losing weight can feel heavy sometimes. And when we think we've messed up or we think we should be able to do this by ourselves, and then we don't, or it doesn't play out exactly like we want, which is like all the time, by the way. We can't predict the future. Like, what are we doing? You can't predict the future. So when things don't align with your expectations, we tend to like retreat, be ashamed, be embarrassed, hide our mistakes, hide our slip ups. Oh, I overate. Oh, I skipped a workout. I suck. Oh, downhill. What's the point? Like, first of all, we can't predict the future, so you shouldn't have had expectations. You have bare minimums to hit, and you have boundaries to set. And as long as you're working on them, it doesn't matter the output sometimes. It doesn't matter the results sometimes. It matters that you continue to input towards that result. If you put your inputs in, you can never guarantee an output. You can never guarantee an output unless it's math. 2 plus 2 will always equal 4. But you can't guarantee an output in life. All you can guarantee is inputs. And by guaranteeing X amount of inputs, and these are your boundaries, then you can increase the probability of an output exponentially, but you still don't have control over it, right? So, it's time to stop shouldering this by yourself. Like it really is, right? And I'll give you an example. If you think of Jesus Christ, I'm not religious. I consider myself more spiritual, but Jesus was an actual historical figure, right? They've proven that he was an actual man that existed. Whether or not you believe he's the Son of God, that's not what this call is for. But my point being, Jesus Christ had to carry the cross on his back to his own crucifixion. He had to go up a hill, carry this cross to his own death. And the so-called Son of God still needed help. He needed somebody's help to carry that cross. And he was the Son of God. And he still needed help. Why do you think you don't? Isn't that crazy? The so-called Son of God still needs help, yet we are here not letting somebody else help carry our cross. Let somebody in. It's for them. And when you help them, it's also going to benefit you back. Can you see how it's symbiotic? You've been working alone. But Napoleon Hill, the author of, I think it's The Laws of Success and Think Rich, Grow Rich, he calls it a mastermind. When you've got 2 or more minds working on the same vision, the same goal, pushing for the same thing, it is insane how much faster you're going to actually get there, as opposed to you trying to do it all by yourself. Because sure, it might happen fast because you can do things, more perfectly, right? Like, you can clean the counter better than your husband can because he leaves the water here, he leaves maybe the dirty, smelly cloth on the table after he's done. Like, there's differences, but that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, from this moment forward, you got to be comfortable asking for help. That's the only way we grow. That's the only way we keep this weight off, if we have that village around us.